Hey everybody, this is Brian again, and welcome to Flight Tip Friday, the only place for the aviator with the limited attention span, like me. So, my wife was giving me a hard time last week about the first episode being super boring, and she's right. So, I already know that. When you put it in the comments, she's already told me about it. But this week's episode is titled A Skew-T in 3. Now, whether this week in Nebraska was awful, wasn't able to get out and do any cool flying videos, so you're stuck with another ground lesson where we're going to look at Skew-T chart in 3 minutes or less. Now, Skew-T chart, it's kind of an age-old mystery. It's kind of like Indiana Jones when he's hunting for his father who was hunting for the Holy Grail. Except there's going to be a lot less drama and a lot fewer Messerschmitts flying through a tunnel in this one. So, on to Skew-T. Hey, the Skew-T diagram, it's a graphic representation of pressure, density, temperature, and moisture in a manner that you can use to get a quick view of the atmospheric conditions. At first glance, it's a multicolored, messy-looking chart with lots of scales and graphs superimposed on each other. But we're going to break it down real quick, and I'll throw it on the screen here so you can see it. Initially, this part of the graphic, it has isobars that are spaced logarithmically in solid black lines. In the next part of the scale here, it has the isotherms. And they're shown in dashed brown lines, but sloping from lower left to upper right, and they're equally spaced. The third part of the diagram are the dry adiabats, and I guess that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. But these are also lines of constant potential temperature, and they're shown with solid brown lines, but these slope the other way, from the lower right to the upper left. And the final part of the diagram is the saturation mixing ratio lines, which are the dashed green lines. So when you put it all together, there are a lot of charts combined into one graphic. And when you see the data plotted on it, it makes more sense. The red line is the temperature at each pressure level. The green line is the dew point at the various pressure levels. So the quick takeaway here is to look at the point where the dew point and the temperature converge. So just like on the ground, when those 2 points converge, you get fog. Well, here, the Skew-T will show you where to expect cloud layers and how thick they are top to bottom. On today's Omaha area sounding, the Skew-T shows an overcast layer from approximately 2,500 MSL to about 8,000 MSL. That is the Skew-T in 3. There's a ton of information still going on here, and I'll put together a longer lesson if you're interested, and we can dig into it and really learn about the Skew-T and how to apply this information. But don't forget, subscribe below to get notified of future lessons and future Flight Tip Fridays, because you may forget when it's Friday. And feel free to share this with your friends. It says, if nothing else, for the entertainment value of, say, hey, look at this old boring guy talk about Skew-T charts. And they don't care about Skew-T charts. If you have any comments, please share them on the YouTube page, and keep them constructive for the benefit of the community, because I already know I'm old, I already know I'm boring. My wife tells me that all the time. So feel free to share, and please subscribe below. Fly safe and fly often. And see you next week on Flight Tip Friday.